All right, so if you are in the States, today is Thanksgiving. Yes, it is Turkey Day. But before you go ahead and devour that turkey, you might want to go ahead and get this free plugin that Akai has given us today. So let's go ahead and get to it. Bolo! All right, so our good friends over at Akai has released a new free plugin. It is called Air Tape Double Track. It is a tape machine doubler effect. So if you guys are familiar with any type of tape machines, or if you guys are old enough to understand what tape machines used to do, they used to have a way to where you could take your tracks and basically give them like a doubled effect. It's a very cool plugin that they have in here. And even if you don't know how to use a tape machine, they have some really good presets that you guys can go ahead and use. So if you have like a mono signal or something that you want to give that doubler effect to, you can go ahead and add that effect to that particular sound. Now, I'm not going to go too deep in this plugin. I just want to show you guys an example of how this thing can work on your particular sounds and your beats or whatever you're doing. And you can use this on vocals as well, since you can record in the MPC like in a linear fashion. You can use this on your vocals to give it that doubler effect as well. But what I'm going to do today is use this on a beat, and I have a sound that's like a mono signal, and I want to add this doubler effect to it. And I want to show you guys how easy it is and how good it can make your track sound. Let's go ahead and head over to the MPC, and I'm gonna show you guys how this thing works. All right, it's that time of the year, and if you guys are looking to get some equipment, do not hesitate to go ahead and click that link in the video description and head over to Zounds.com. Zounds has a whole bunch of stuff on the site, and they have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that does not require a credit or background check. Meaning, all you have to do is order it, they will ship it to you, and then you can just make monthly installments and pay off those items. All you would need is a credit or debit card hooked to the account. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can get right now by just clicking my link in the description and heading over to Zounds.com. So go ahead and get you some stuff right now. And you guys know how much I rock with analog cases. And right now, everything on their site is 20% off. Yes, everything. Their sale starts on November 23rd, and it goes through Black Friday and through Cyber Monday. That means you can get the track pack, all of the STS stands, MPC cases, keyboard cases, mic cases, audio interface cases, whatever you need, it will all be on sale this week through Cyber Monday. So listen, don't hesitate to click that link in the video description and head over to Analog Cases, because we all know they're the #1 source to keep your gear protected. All right, so I got a sequence in here right now. This is a very quick beat that I made with my Arteria Astrolab 37. Nothing really major, just a really quick beat that I wanted to make for this tutorial. So let me play this thing back, and I'm gonna show you the sound that I wanna put this doubler effect on. Bolo, bolo, bolo. All right, so the sound I want to put this on is that one like little like lead synth bass. It sounds like that da-na-na-na, that sound right there. So I want to go ahead and put it on that. So what I'm going to do now is let me just loop this hook part right here. So let me just loop that real quick and pull that back over there. All right, so I got the hook part looped, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to solo out the track that I want to go ahead and add this effect to. So it's actually on track 2, I believe 2, or it's actually track 3. So, okay, I got the sound soloed out. The sound I want to do right here is this right here. So it sounds good, but it's kind of a mono sound. So this is going to be very good for sounds that are mono. Okay, and you want to pretty much kind of spread these sounds out. Now, if you do have a stereo source or whatever, you can use it on that as well, but it's best that we use this on like some sounds that you really want to kind of give that doubled effect to, and that's best on mono sounds. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and add the effect on here so you guys can hear how it sounds soloed, and then we can hear how it sounds in the actual beat. So the best way I like to do this is you can use this as a send, but I like to use this directly on the track. So what we can do is go right here to where you see this little wave symbol right here next to your track number. You select on that, takes you to your effects. You can select on your effect. Then from there, we can add the tape double track to the inserts, and then we can just click, and then now we are in here. As you guys can see, this is basically a tape machine emulation. That's why you see these things spinning. Back in the day, when you had tape machines, you can set these tape machines to where you can give it a doubled effect. Now, am I a tape machine genius? No. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are not tape machine geniuses because a lot of you guys did not grow up in that era. So you probably have never even used a tape machine. But it's all good because the good thing about this plugin, it comes with a whole bunch of presets that you guys can use, and you can scroll through the presets and find stuff you like. Then once you find something in the presets, then you can just go ahead and tweak it from there. I'm not going to go fully in depth in these controls because I know a lot of you guys probably will not even understand what some of these controls are, okay? Like right now you have your source, you have your backing mode, you just have it set to auto, you have your modulation mode and everything on here, then you have your range, you have your various speed on here, okay? That's cool. You have all your different sources. You have your left plus right source, your left and your right source, and you have a stereo source, okay? On here, you have your channel mixer on here. Okay, you have your source mixing and you have your double mixing on this side right here. And then from there, you can add from your source, you can add drive, pan, level, and the same thing with your double side, you can add drive, level, pan as well. And then you still have the various speed on here. Now, one thing I do want to say is what I do like is they have a bass mono right here, and you can actually turn this on. And whatever frequencies you set this to, whatever it is below what you set this is going to be in a mono state, all right? And then from there, we have auto tracking. Right here, we have a tape head position. This is a tape machine, so you can set the tape head position, and then you have a randomized head, and then you can recalibrate the head if you want to. Now, depending on what you do in this mod section is going to affect the randomize right here, which I will say that in most situations, I would use the randomize to give it more of a natural effect. So if I take this modulation speed and just watch this tape head thing right here, watch this. If I turn that up, it's going to start moving. And if I turn this down, it's going to slow down a little bit. So that's a way you can kind of get this thing tweaked the way you really want to tweak it. But what I recommend is just slap this thing on. It's going to make a difference. Because right now, if I have this turned off and then I just go ahead and I go right here to the first preset, right? If I play it, now let me go ahead and turn it on. Makes a difference already. So now let's listen to this in the context of the beat. So let's go back out to our main. Let's turn this solo back off, and then let's go back into the actual plugin. So we're going to turn this off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage it inside of the beat. And then just like that, what you can do now is add a doubled effect to that mono signal, and now it spreads that effect out. And I didn't have to turn up any levels or anything to get that to cut through the mix. And now we have something that sounds very good. Now, you can get real drastic with this, but what I would say is don't try to overdo it, okay? Just use the presets, go in here, and just try to make something that's really dope. So I'm just gonna go through a few of the presets so you can, kind of hear how this thing sounds in context with the actual beat. Now, as you guys can see, I went through a few presets. Everything has its own little characteristic, its own little style. Now, if you do want to have a little bit more control over this, you can use this as a send as well. And in that way, you can feed the signal into the send, and then you can kind of like adjust the signal how you want. And in that way, it will still give you the same effect. But for me, I like to have it directly on the track. So as you guys can see, this thing is really dope. And as I said before, this thing is free. It is completely free. They have a version for your desktop and they have a version for your standalone units, okay? So if you guys wanna go ahead and pick this up, I will have a link in the video description. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something from it. And like I always say, peace out. Don't eat too much turkey today.